Win, lose, or draw. Clapping is in the air. Win, lose, or draw. We here. Win, lose, or draw. We gonna tell the truth. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to the one and the only. This the OGs, y'all. So I mean, I know y'all done heard everybody else. If you're coming for fantasy land, you probably need to go to another channel. But if you want to hear the real truth, you know, straight cut, no chaser, you've come to the right place. I promise you that. We're here. I see a whole lot of folks done popped in here already. We're here. Okay. You want the truth? We gonna give it to you. Raw, uncut. I don't know what they gonna say. I know what I'm gonna say. But here we are. I need everybody to, first of all, good morning to all of you. Hit the like button, hit the share button, share the Cowboys group. do whatever you got to do. Come on in. I know that everybody been kind of waiting, especially my people. If you're on the Big Time Show, I've been busy. I couldn't get to you, but here I am. So you're gonna get to hear all what you need to hear about the game. But thank God I'm not alone today. Man, look who I got with me. The original OGs, B Bird and Cowboy Joe. B Bird, what's up, man? What's going on?
What's up? What's up, people? The food need a little seasoning, man. The water kind of, you know what I'm saying? It's ambient. The air, I smell something. It just don't taste right after a Cowboy loss, man. You know what I'm saying? So it's the opposite of a Cowboy victory. I can tell you that much. But yeah, man, we're gonna dissect this, man, as good as we can, man. And we got thoughts on it. We're gonna just let everybody know. We appreciate y'all joining in with us. And Cowboy Joe, I'm gonna let you introduce yourself, but I want to just say one thing. I'm on you. I'm all on that Evil Flus must go boat.
Cause you knew what I was bringing, right?
Oh, I already knew, Joe.
Wow.
But we gonna ease into it, though. I'm not gonna hit you all at one time.
All right.
But by the end of this show, I'm gonna try to convince the OGs that we need to go another direction. But we'll see how it goes. This is gonna be a
you
trial by
talking
jury.
about me because I don't know. I don't know, Joe. I don't know. You got to convince me. Okay, I'm gonna listen though.
I brought receipts.
Uh-oh.
You know he can do that now. Ain't no doubt about that. I ain't listening. Let's go ahead and just jump into it, guys. I'll let y'all start it off. Whichever one want to go, just wherever you want to land. Let the plane land.
Let me say a couple of things. Well, one thing, it's not going to be the most popular subject, but man, I thought that the special teams play, boy, it was bad the other day, and it goes because we really, it's three phases, but we really concentrate on the like my son said, the casuals really concentrate on 1 and 2, offense and defense. But man, I saw a stat that had their starting field position was a Detroit starting field position. This is including turnovers and everything. Was their 43-yard line. You're just not going to win many games with the team starting off pretty much a field goal away from. A first down away from field goal territory. And if you go look at the opposite, man, I'm gonna try to find it. But somebody posted our last 15 punts. I don't know if y'all saw that, punt returns, and we've only I think we only got 2 punt returns for 15 yards in our last 15 punt returns. And we've been down inside the 5 a certain amount of time, maybe 4 times, and inside the 20 the other 10 times. It's been bad, man, to be honest with you. But I thought their starting field position and our starting field position was an issue. And it's other things, but that was one of my takeaways. And I know it's not one of the highlight things, but it's just one of those things that if you don't, if you're not really looking for it, it'll bite you, man.
Talk to us, Joe. Whatever way you want to go with it, we can roll.
Yes, sir. So our special teams have been bad all year. And good morning, everybody, again. So this is not anything new. So Sorensen was the defensive coordinator for the 49ers. He was fired. He was hired here as a special teams coordinator. Our special teams has been one of the worst in the league all year. So this is not anything new. And I was wondering myself during the game, and I confirmed this. If you kick the ball out of bounds, not out of bounds, but if you just kick the ball through the end zone on a kick return, you get the ball to 35. And so one adjustment they need to make that was never made, they just needed to kick the ball through the end zone and give them the ball on the 35. You'd have came out better there. But one of my things for this show I want to talk about, guys, is, we understand who we are. We're OGs. We're all, second, third generation Cowboy fans. We are the Dallas Cowboys. We know who we are. We're not the Jacksonville Jaguars. We're not the Atlanta Falcons. This is the Dallas Cowboys. Okay, that's the standard that we have. And what I see, I have a theory, and I've been running this for a while. Is Jerry Jones a Dallas Cowboy, or does he just own the team?
Oh,
and so kind of my theme is I have some concerns about the owner and some of the people in the front office understanding who we are. We are the Dallas Cowboys, and we don't really operate that way. And so that's one of my themes. So with that in mind, the special teams coach, at some point this week, he should be reassigned. They don't like firing people, and I'm gonna talk about that too.
Yeah.
But he should be reassigned to another duty this week. If we are the Dallas Cowboys, that's what will happen.
Oof. Wait a minute, man. Man, put your gun up, Cowboy Joe. What you doing, man?
Yeah.
He came with the hammer.
Man, it's too early in the show. You got to build this thing, then drop bombs. My God, Joe ain't leaving nothing left for us. What's wrong with Joe this morning? B-Bird, is he all right?
Hey, Joe woke up with violence on his mind, man.
I see. Let me say something about special teams. I'll go another direction. Let me. Hey, who is this? Bowel movement. Well, take your bowels. If you say it's boring, going on somewhere then. Bye. If it's boring, keep scrolling. I ain't got no problem with you, doc. You know, God bless you. You have a great day here. Listen, let me go to this. Cavante Turpin. I stick with special teams. I don't know what's wrong with him today. I don't see the aggression. I don't see the dog that I saw the last couple of years. I think he's fell in love and, you know, possibly reading his own press that he's an all-pro. He's a, you know, supposedly the best kick returner in the game. And he just does not have, the eye test. It just does not look the same to me. And maybe that's the reason why I thought at the beginning of the year that with the new kickoff rule, I knew that the way teams were going to kick the ball, that he would have so many chances to make an impact in the game. And, you know, for teams that, you know, previous before the new rule, they wouldn't even kick to him. Because if you did, you know, if he didn't, he was going to hurt you eventually. I don't remember where he's hurt nobody this year. Not one return, not one punt return. I just don't remember an impact play. And I thought he would be just as deadly as Aubrey was. That when you see Aubrey, you know, teams are scared of Aubrey now. And I thought they would be the same way for Turpin. And he has been a letdown because he's touched the ball too many times for him not to make an impact on the game. So I agree with you guys about the special teams, about that, but we got an all-pro considered the best in the game, and he does not look like it to me. And that's what I take from it.
Yeah, and as you said too, big time, the way they change the kickoff rule means that your kickoff return guy is going to get a lot of chances, and it just hasn't happened with the kickoff returns, nor has it happened with the punt returns. But somebody commented on the fact that, hey, he got paid now. You know, maybe he thinks he's a little bit bigger than that position, but you know, he's gotten 2 penalties, a call for 2 penalties on that fair catch thing, and they showed where it's only one other time that thing's been called in the last couple of years, that penalty. He's gotten 2 of them in this year, and those are bonehead mistakes, man. That's unforced errors. That, and even the not just with him, because I'm talking about the kickoff coverage game. I mean, they had a tight end return the ball, man, and he was killing us, getting the ball to the 45-yard line a couple of times. So I don't know what happened with that unit, but you know, that is the 3rd unit, and if you don't watch it, it'll bite you. And I think it kind of hindered us the other day. I know it didn't help us, put it that way.
Yeah. It was not a good day at all, especially other than Brandon.
I think we lost you big time. Can you hear him, B-Bird?
I can't hear him.
We can't hear you big
That
time.
was on me. I was saying nothing good about special teams other than Brandon Aubrey, and you know, nothing else need to really be said about him. He's the best in the game.
Yeah.
It's just no question about it. And again, every game he goes out, his paycheck, his new salary is just going up and up and up. And I don't know.
So let's take Brandon Aubrey's contract since you brought this up. So when I talk about a GM having foresight, Brandon Aubrey should have been signed. It only saves you money to sign him early. You know what he can do. He's proven himself. He is the best kicker in the game. And so where we go from here? I mean, were you waiting for him to fall off? I don't understand. Do you need to see more evidence? And if you do, then you're not a good GM. You got to see more evidence. So, just my comment on that. That in a nutshell tells us where we are as far as our front office. Like, why do you need more time to sign Brandon Aubrey? Like, he's going to be an asset.
So take that one, Joe.
Yeah, go on.
Well, yeah, I would go ahead and get him signed. There's no reason to wait, but that's not what they do. They have a method of operation that they use, and they do this with a lot of contracts. So, Jerry just get tentative when he has to pay a position and pay. See, Brandon Aubrey should be the highest paid kicker in the league. So anytime you see highest paid connected to Jerry signing, he does this. Yeah. So that's a pattern that he has. Now he will pay other guys that may not be worth a contract. He'll pay them early. That's what he did with Gallup, Terrence Steele, guys like that. So that's a pattern that he has when he has someone that's balling out and should be the highest paid, whether it's Brandon Aubrey, Michael Parsons, whatever the case may be. He gets tentative. So that's kind of what we're dealing with.
I think it's just a matter of when it comes to his contract or whoever's going to pay him. It'll be unprecedented. I mean, he's going to set the bar.
Yep.
Is no question about that. And it's uncharted territory. So the kind of money that he's going to get is something that you wouldn't ever think that a kicker would make. And so whoever his agent is, I don't know who Brandon Aubrey's agent is, but I'm quite sure he's going to reach for the stars as he should.
Yep.
And Brandon is going to set a record. There's going to be some money that the Cowboys didn't think they were going to have to pay if they're talking about keeping him. If there's one guy that the deal should be done rather quickly, it should be him.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing to talk about. But we said the same thing about Parsons starting off.
Yeah.
So we saw how that ended up. Yeah. But I don't think it's no question about that. So, but I just wanted to give credit to Aubrey.
Yeah.
Anything past the 50-yard line, you just about can say, chalk it up. It's going on the scoreboard. That is a tremendous weapon to have. And that's why they were going for some of the play calls, which I'll get into later on. And I know we don't want to spend a lot of time. Okay, go ahead, B-Bird. I see you.
So I guess I wanted to get on see what y'all thoughts. I'll give you my thoughts about the defensive struggles. I think some things that was covered up earlier with our pass rush, but I don't think you're going to get a pass rush every time. But I think the secondary play exposed itself. Coverage with the linebackers and the secondary. I think it exposed itself Thursday night. And I think that was pretty much our biggest shortcoming. We just couldn't really get to the passer. And when we couldn't, it just kind of exposed some people in the secondary. I think it exposed a need there as far as talent is concerned too. But I think our defense kind of went back to where they were the first 4 or 5, 6 weeks before we made the trade, where we was getting 40 points put on us regularly. I think we kind of went back to that mode. And just to be honest with you, that's where the Eberflus thing with me, I'm kind of leaning to the side of, because I was always on the, hey, give more talent, let's see what it does. Well, he has the talent, and I'm still seeing 40-something points being put up on him. So at this point in time, man, I just think our defense let us down the other day, and I think it was mainly the secondary. That's just my opinion. I was going to see what you guys thought.
I'm gonna let Joe, because Joe's swinging hammers over there. I know he's gonna go crazy with this one. I'm gonna get out the way. Go ahead, Joe. Lord have mercy.
So a couple of things. I saw a couple of stats where, so the first part of the game, he was bringing pressure, and he stopped. We are talking about Eberflus. So Will Steele highlighted this. Voch Lombardi, Brian Broaddus. They said that Goff dropped back 29 times. In the 29 times he dropped back, we dialed up pressure 4 times. So the other 25 snaps, we just brought four rushers. We didn't put any pressure on him. And the other stat I saw, guys, was he threw however many passes he threw. We had one defensive back that got his hands on the ball. Just one pass breakup. And the reason that's happening is because his pass defense has the defensive backs so far away from the receivers that when the ball is thrown, our corners and defensive backs, they're not getting a chance to get to the ball to get their hands on the ball. But that's his defense. And so I just think at the end of the day, and I've been listening to Voch Lombardi a lot. Shout out to him. Voch and I are on the same page. We're just wasting time. There's no reason for this guy to be brought back. And big time, I listened to your show for years. You talked about physicality, especially in the running game. You said that the Cowboys need to be physical with running the football. You have to be a physical football team. Brian Schottenheimer talked about that all preseason and training camp. On the defensive side of the ball, we do not have a physicality type coach. His defense is bend, don't break. He will not dial up pressure consistently. He just refuses to do it. His defensive backs, he has them playing so far off the receivers. It's a finesse defense, and it shows. When you look at what Detroit did to us the other night, they played bully ball. Yep. Our defensive coordinator, he's not a bully ball coach. And I've been looking at Tankathon, so they've got the highest rated cornerbacks I'm looking at here in the draft, the linebackers too. The cornerbacks that are in the draft right now that are ranked high, they're all man cover corners. Our defensive coordinator does not play man. He primarily plays zone. So you're wasting your time by drafting these corners, but that's not what he does. And so that being said, you are always going to go back to who you are. So he for a few weeks there, he was able to do a few things to kind of disguise, what he does. But when push comes to shove, at the end of the day, he's not a defensive coordinator that's going to play attack football. There's not a physicality to his brand. And then one last thing I want to say. Now, I mentioned this before. I'm gonna shut up and let you guys talk. If you're going to be a coach, head coach, defensive coordinator, or offensive coordinator, you got to be one or two things. You either have to have a really good scheme, like Steve Spagnuolo, Vic Fangio, Vance Joseph from Denver. They just have a good scheme. The other thing you got to be a fire and brimstone, a leader of men type coach where players want to run through the wall for you. You get them fired up to play. Eberflus doesn't fit in either category. He doesn't have a good scheme. He doesn't. Let's just be honest. And he's also not a leader of men. Guys don't want to play for him. They don't want to play hard. So that is your problem. And I've been hearing this thing the last few days about continuity. I'm going to come back and talk to you about this continuity thing we're hearing, because some of these folks are saying, well, we don't need to get another defensive coordinator because of continuity. So I got something on that when we come back around.
Well, I'll make it. I ain't gonna disagree with nothing nobody said. I'm just gonna add to it, and I'm going strictly by the eye test. When we first started out, like Joe just said, they kind of, I don't know if it was really Bliss and Osa got in. James Houston got in. That was a 5-man blitz. You put the pressure on it, and it was obvious that it was working. But something happened in that first two drives that I saw, and that's what changed it. And that was when St. Brown caught that first ball and caught it real easy. In my view, in my opinion, Eberflus got scared. He got scared of the speed. He said, this dude ain't on no one ankle. This dude look like he just fine. And of course, at the end of the day, you see his stats where he almost had 100 yards, and then Williams was just as quick and all this stuff. I believe he got scared. I believe he knew that his cornerbacks could not do anything, that he wanted to drop 7 and try to, make windows for golf, and got off of the blitz because he got burnt real quick. But he got burnt either way it went, zone or man. I just really believe that was the case with him. I didn't like none of the things. The other things that happened it's like I said right before the show with B-Bird, that coaching matters. Detroit, man, just really just imposed their will on us. But that go back to the physicality thing. I mean, we got beat up on the defensive line. We ain't got to the offensive line, but we already know what happened there. We got bullied.
Yeah.
If you get beat in the trenches, you gonna get beat everywhere else. It really just that simple. What they did, man, they said on defense from at least while we were on defense, they said, okay, we got backup linemen. Our best option is Gibbs and Montgomery. We are going to run the ball because we're going to stay true to our identity. But we know the Cowboys got this great middle up front. We don't know if our guys can really block them or not, but this is what we're going to do. We're going to run jumbo the whole game. We're going to run 2 tight ends, 3 tight ends. We're going to double down. And we're not going to let Quentin Williams beat us. We're not going to let Kenny Clark beat us. We're going to double them. And if either Rock who beat us, so be it. If Sam Williams beat us, so be it. But we are not going to let the middle beat us. That's all they did. Mm-hmm. And they beat us. They ran jumbo. And we thought we could look. We said, oh, ain't nobody, before the game, I said, man, ain't nobody getting nothing up the middle. Ain't nowhere in the world. Man, they ran up the middle when they wanted to. Montgomery, missed tackles, breaking tackles. Just Gibbs, he really didn't kill, but they simple counteract, swing the ball outside for the pass. Just simple football. Your linebackers can't run. Kenneth Murray looked like he just lost. Just horrible. And that goes to coaching, man. Just simple coaching. Dan Campbell is the offensive coordinator. He just annihilated Eberflus. But it's no surprise because he said Eberflus before. Let's not forget that. He's been in Detroit, Eberflus in Chicago, so he already knows how to beat Eberflus. He was whooping them at Chicago, so it ain't nothing new. You know what I'm saying? So it's really a matter of coaching. That's what I saw. Just simple schemes to counteract what we wanted to do. And we didn't impose our will in no shape or form at all. So once you give golf time, you got these cornerbacks, Bland. Oh my God, what happened to Bland, man? Come on, man. I already know Revel was in trouble. And that's the other thing. Now I'll pass it back. Forgive me for my sciences, y'all. But look, when you see Revel getting beat by St. Brown, why are we still going one-on-one? Why are we putting safety here? This macho play calling just don't work. If your cornerbacks are getting destroyed, hey, get out of that. He can't guard them one-on-one. It just don't make no sense. Revel was getting torched. Yeah, everybody was. It's just that simple. And I'm like, okay, why are we still going man to man? Why is Bale? Why is Bale going one-on-one with Jameson Williams? What kind of sense do that make? I don't understand that. You got to go according to it, but that's really all I got. We just got our coach, man, and we got our physical. And once you get that done, you get 40 points put on you. It's just that simple.
So with Revel, man, me and Sky had a conversation about Skywalker still. Shout out to him. We had a conversation about that, and we both agreed that and this was before we even got Quentin Williams, that we felt like they was trying to rush Revel back. And at some point you saw the video, you saw that Diggs was way ahead of Revel. And where Revel came from with the injury, man, I just think that, to me, it'd have been a wise thing to redshirt him and just say, hey man, look, take this year off rehab and come back next off season. We're gonna put you in full gear. But I think what you do to a cornerback when you bring in a guy that's not really fully back, which I don't think he is. I think we can all agree that he's not fully back. But he's playing. It's hard enough for a rookie to make the jump to the NFL, playing against NFL wide receivers and quarterbacks. It's hard enough. But then a guy that's hurt, you run the risk of messing up his mental, right? His confidence, and that's a cornerback has to have confidence. So Revel didn't look good out there, and there was some plays where I think he fell down at and they just didn't complete the pass, and it would have been even worse. But part of that is, I think, it's the Diggs saga. And they're going to have to figure this thing out, because if he's ready to go, and they said he was ready to go for Thanksgiving, even before Thanksgiving maybe, and Thanksgiving, he's supposed to be ready to go now. So it tells me that physically he's ready to go, but I think they're holding him back. There may be some with Eberflus, because I know they had some kind of back and forth during the season. But at some point in time, man, it's got to be, hey, man, if this guy can improve our defense and help us in coverage, we got to play him. But I want to pivot right quick and just tell you what me and my son was texting each other. And I said, I'm going to give y'all a defensive line that I think that we could have had if we had a real GM. You had Clowney at one defensive end, because you acquire him and you see that, hey, this guy still got something in his tank. You have Osa at one defensive tackle. You had Quentin Williams at the other defensive tackle, and you have Michael Parsons on the end. Wouldn't you like that defense right now more than you like the defensive line we have, even though we have the three monsters in the middle? Because what I thought the other night was, they solved our inside pressure, and we couldn't get pressure on the outside. We had nobody out there. And part of it was because Clowney wasn't there, but part of it is because really this is the way you construct the defensive line I just named. Is one when you take your feelings out of it, Jerry, and take your emotions out of it and all that kind of stuff. This is what you can do, because what you're trying to do is you're trying to get the best talent you can all the way across the board. So I just think that this is a miss, man. Like, when I look back at it, I know it's kind of a big picture thing, but that defensive line I just named could have been had, and it just was not had. And that goes back to the front office, man.
So what I'm going to add, and then I'm going to get off after defense, because we really just it's kind of like a thing where we're just kind of with Eberflus, we're going in circles. One of the things I'm 100% sure that Diggs is ready to play on Thanksgiving. He was ready to play the other night.
Yeah.
So Brian Broaddus reported that the reason that Diggs is not playing is because the coaches don't feel like they're seeing what they want to see in practice. What they're saying, let's just cut to the chase. Eberflus doesn't want to play Diggs. Let's just keep it a buck. That's what it is. Okay, yeah. Let's keep it real simple. Okay, and then I was going to go back to the corners, the way they were playing. Whatever kind of defense you're playing in the secondary, guys, you got to have pressure. Okay, you can't let the quarterback stand back there and make a bologna sandwich every time he drops back. So if it's Revel, Bland, Diggs, it doesn't matter. If you're bringing no pressure, it doesn't really matter what kind of coverage you're playing. Guys are going to be running wide open. And Eberflus, stop bringing the pressure. He does it all the time. And our offense is our best defense. The reason we were able to defeat the Eagles, the Kansas City Chiefs, and we can talk about the offense here in a minute, is because our offense was on point. Our offense helps our defense. And so when we played the Giants, the Packers, they put up 40 points on our defense, but we were able to win and tie the game. Guess why? Because our offense was on point. And then one last thing I want to say, I believe Revel should have been. I believe they shouldn't have drafted Revel, and absolutely he should have been redshirted. But the culture of our front office, they believe if they draft you or pay you, whatever condition you're in, they're going to force you on the field. Yeah. That's their culture that they have. And then one last thing I want to mention about Vach, and he's mentioned this a couple of times. He said on the offensive side of the ball, Connor Riley, Clayton Adams, and Shotty, they're taking average to good players and making them better. On the defensive side of the ball, Eberflus is taking average to good players and making them worse. Okay, Leo Fowle's arrow was pointing up; he's worse. Overshawn arrow was pointing up. Overshawn is worse. Bland is worse. And give him a couple of weeks, you're gonna see Quentin Williams get worse because that's what he does. That's the kind of coach he is. He doesn't do a good job of coaching. So at the end of the day, I think that's where we are defensively. I think the reason we won the last 3 games, the Raiders, the Chiefs, and the other game, the Eagles, our offense was on point. The other night, our offense, they were kind of off a little bit. And so we saw 44 points put up on our defense again. He's tied the record on the amount of points we've given up defensively for the Cowboys. So that's just kind of where I am with Eberflus on the defense part, guys.
Wow. Well, there's nothing more than you say other than it sounds like, I mean, you don't even, I see look out KC came in. There it is. I was just about to go with Joe because I don't want to get out the defense quite yet because I want Joe to go ahead and just echo what Lookout just said. He said fire the DC.
And special teams coach.
Well, he said the special teams coach. I get that, but I want to lock in on Eberflus because I have said that the players were going to help Eberflus out. Same scheme, better players.
Yeah.
He's got a sample size with better players. You got 3 games where the defense actually, look pretty good. You get this one game where you're going against, quote unquote, one of the bullies. And in Cowboy fashion, I've always said we win spectacularly or lose spectacularly. And usually when we lose spectacularly, it's always something like this, where we get just completely blowed off the doors, look like we didn't come to play football. And here's the funny part, before we said, the offense did score 30. So, I mean, I can't say we got beat 44-10 or something like that. We just couldn't get a stop on defense at all. I mean, nothing. I mean, we couldn't make a play.
Let me clarify something big time. I think it was 8 minutes left to go in the second quarter when we got our last stop. I just wanted to clarify that.
That's you can't win football games like that. It's just as simple. So we just couldn't. The offense did what they could do. They have, of course, we're dealing with a lot, and we'll get into that in just a second. But the defense did not show up at all in any fashion, other than maybe that first drive. That was about it. Other than that,
they was putting on pressure.
Exactly. So, Joe, just we got plenty of time. I mean, we already know the Cowboys are gonna ride this out regardless. So, I mean, Eberflus is not going anywhere this season. We know that.
No.
But let me just ask it this way. If Jerry brings back Eberflus next season, what if the Cowboys what if they run the table the rest of the way? Which is a possibility. What if they run the table the rest of the way? I don't even care about if they say that does not mean you're gonna be in the playoffs. What if they just run the rest of the way and the defense looks like they did the first 3 weeks or whatever? What if he brings him back? I just want to know what you gonna feel about it.
Well, so let me say this. And so we've seen some of the people in the front office and some content creators talking about continuity. There's this concern that if we change defensive coordinators, we're going to have our 4th change in the last four years. So I'm going to say this. Okay, this is where I stand on this continuity thing. If continuity was a thing, Mike Nolan would be in his 5th year as our defensive coordinator. Okay, but he's not because he wasn't a good coach. If continuity was a thing, the Cowboys had an offensive line coach, and his name escapes me, a couple of years back. he was so bad they fired him during the season. If continuity was a thing, him, that guy, he would still be here. Mike Solari was our offensive line coach the last couple of years. He wasn't good. If continuity was a thing, Mike Solari would still be our defensive coordinator. And then finally, if continuity was a thing, Jason Garrett would be in his 15th year as our head coach. But we moved on from all of those coaches because continuity didn't make any sense because they were not good coaches. So I'm just not falling for this continuity thing. I believe you gotta take a honest look at where you are. And as I said, I watched Detroit's defensive coordinator the other night. He had his team ready to play. He was fired up. He looked like he could put on a uniform. He had a good scheme. His team played physical. Eberflus just doesn't do that, guys. And one last thing I want to mention. So, big time, to answer your question, to wrap it up. Here's what I would do if I was Schottenheimer. And I believe if his dad was alive, this is what his dad would tell him. I believe his dad would tell him, your physicality brand of football that we're trying to play, this coach doesn't match that. And what you're looking at a Kellen, Mike McCarthy thing with these coaches. Jerry and Steven, they have to have their hand in something. Eberflus allows them to do that. And so I believe Marty Schottenheimer would just tell him, look, you need to just take control of this thing and let the front office know this is what you want to do. And then finally, what I would do is several years back, Parcells was the head coach, and he had Mike Zimmer as his coordinator. So they ran a 4-3. So Parcells told Zimmer, in the offseason, I want you to do nothing but study the 3-4. That's your assignment. We're going from a 4-3 to a 3-4. If they're going to bring Eberflus back, what I would do if I was Shotty, I would get Eberflus in a meeting, and I would look him right in his eyes, and I would tell him, if I bring you back as the coordinator, you're going to change the way you play defense. You're going to be able to play some zone. You're going to play man, but it's going to be a mix. We're not going to go and play these teams that can blow us off the field and not put pressure on the quarterback. Now, if you can look me in the eye and promise me you're going to do that, I'll bring you back. But if I get any indication from this coach that he's not going to do that, then I'm not bringing him back.
Wow.
Hey, shoot, I think I lost it. Hold on. Oh, shoot, I think I did. Don't worry about it. Keep on going, y'all.
All right. Well, I wanted to hear what Joe had to say about that because he been asking for Eberflus for a while.
I did find this. I wanted to read this to y'all, if y'all don't mind. This is going back to the special team. So Bally Bell put this out. I'm just going to read these tweets. It said, in the last 12 days, Cavante Turpin has been flagged for 2 invalid foul catch signals. In the 2,265 days before that, the entire NFL was flagged for an invalid foul catch signal one time. Since week 11, there have been 8 punts down inside the 5. Half of those have come against the Cowboys. Then they got drives started inside the 20, 10 out of our last 15 punt returns. Penalty yards, 5 for 34. Return yards, in our last 15 punt returns, we've had 2 returns for 15 yards. And then this last thing was, also note, the Cowboys have 24 penalties on kick, punt coverage, and returns, essentially 2 penalties a game. So it's been under the radar. And you win. We won 3 in a row. And, win covers a lot of, blemishes. But, man, our special teams have been bad, man, to be totally honest with you. So I wanted to clarify that on the special team because that's what I saw that it really kind of put a spotlight on it.
And if continuity is a thing, B-Bird, big time, if that's a thing, bring the special teams coach back too. Just bring him back.
Continuity is good when the person is good. Like you want to keep continuity when things are good. When things are not good, it doesn't make sense to keep continuity. So if I have a 0-17 team, why would I want to keep continuity on that team? No, I don't want that kind of continuity. I want something that's promising continuity. And so now continuity, that's just and somebody even explained, I was listening to it. They said if you really look at the defense coordinators that we've had, it's not like we fired them; they left. Like the coach for Washington Commanders. I mean, he left to another job, so we had to get somebody else. You see what I'm saying? It wasn't like we just kind of going through guys. I mean, they're leaving for different reasons. They're not leaving because we're firing them or whatever. So, that continuity is not it is an excuse to try to bring somebody back. And it sounds good, like, yeah, we got to we've been running through people. No, you got to find somebody whose defense you can trust. And one thing too that you're not bringing up, Cowboy Joe, the defensive coordinators that they're getting now, and I'm saying this, Cowboy Joe, because you've always said this. He said, look at these defensive coordinators, man. They're guys that's playing on the edge. They're guys that's aggressive. They're guys that and that guy that you were describing is the same guy that's on Detroit's sideline Thursday night. It's a guy that they had before in Aaron Glenn, man. So what you're saying is, and I know you bring that up a lot, and I think it's actually appropriate for this conversation, is that, man, they got edgy guys out there, man, that come after you.
Finesse versus physical. That's just the bottom line. And you can tell by the way we play. If you want to go on defense, Eberflus started off physical, first drive. Then he went straight finesse.
Yep.
He didn't nothing that would, no play call that would force you to impose your will on somebody. That's not what happened. And you get 40 points put on you. And speaking of that, let's pivot, y'all, real quick, because we've been on. I know everybody's here. Appreciate everybody on here hanging with us this morning. Offense. Let me start it off, and then y'all go with whatever way y'all want to go with it. I thought I saw a replay of Kellen Moore and Mike McCarthy. That's what I saw. I saw finesse at its finest. I didn't see the imposing of your will at all doing that. I believe Schottenheimer, this game, fell in love with throwing the ball, and forgot about trying to run. You can't do play action if you haven't established the run. I think he got out coached. Detroit's game plan was simple. I don't know if you guys noticed it, but I saw it, and they did it the whole game. They lined up somebody in the A gap, kind of like a double A blitz, which they didn't do sometimes. That forced you to take care of those guys that were at the top. But what it did, the reason why they did it, they weren't worried about pressure up the middle. If they got it, that's cool. But they lined up like that so they could get isolation on the tackles. That's why they did that. So Hutchinson could go one-on-one, and then the other dude could go one-on-one. And that really was the game plan. They went ahead and just annihilated Nate Thomas and Terrence Steele. It was simple one-on-one game planning. Whatever plans that you had to double team Hutchinson, because that would have been the primary focus. You took it away by just lining up in the A gap. The other thing was, I didn't see no counter. Like, if Hutchinson is killing your tackle and the other dude is killing your tackle, where's the tight end to line up on the other side to help out? They consistently let Nate Thomas go one-on-one with Hutchinson. I'm like, how many more times do you got to see Hutchinson and the other dude kill these guys? Where's the adjustment? The other thing that I didn't like, and I'm just giving the other thing is, why does Dak have to have a 5 and 7 step drop? What happened to the quick 3-step drop, let the ball go? That's all golf did. Why does every player have to have a long developing route running where Pickens could get down the field. Good Lord, didn't he just kill people with the slant just a couple weeks ago? I know they tried to take it away, but running on the other side. I know they paid attention to Pickens. Why does everything have to be the play action like that? Give me a quick pass. Because your tackles can't block nobody. Nobody was blocking nobody. So if Dak don't have time, why are we still running 5 and 7 step drops? That's just bad coaching. I can't give Schottenheimer too much credit. And like somebody said, who is this? Cowboy champs. We only ran the ball 17 times. Good Lord. Come on now. You didn't even try. You were dedicated because you got happy because you said that Detroit got backups at cornerbacks. Oh, we finna light them up. And CD was killing them. CD was on his way to a 200-yard game. I'll give you that. Pickens was, it was CD's game, this game. And I don't want to get into the Pickens thing like that. I'm just saying, like, okay, you see how the game is going. Whatever your game plan was, let's change it. Because your line is getting ate alive. Everybody was getting killed. Booker, everybody was getting killed. You got to make some adjustments. You can't keep running. You can't keep running play action pass when soon as you get that pass to play action, Dak got 3 people in his face. Give me a break now. Where's the 3-step drop at? Get under center. If you're going to go on the shotgun, let it be a 3-step pass. I mean, there ain't no drop. Just get rid of it. Bam. And that's the part I didn't like. We just got out-coached. Y'all may have said something else, but that's what I saw. Go ahead, B-Bird.
Well, one thing, too, I got in my notes that I took after the game. I think this is a game we kind of missed Guyton on, right? We could have used him out there. A healthy Guyton probably would have helped us out a little bit more. But one of the things, too, is the other guy that you're talking about is Muhammad. So the reason why I big time couldn't remember his name is because he's not Aiden Hutchinson. But you know what Muhammad did? He got 3 sacks the other night. That's crazy. He should. There's no world where Muhammad should be getting 3 sacks against us. So I just thought, so I'm gonna go into it. I'm a big Pickens fan. I'm probably the biggest Pickens fans out of all 3 of us here because I liked him come out of college. I wanted us to draft him come out of college. It just didn't fall that way. No fault for our own. He went a little bit earlier than I thought he would. But I even wanted Mingo because I thought he was kind of a Pickens clone. So when we were able to get Pickens, man, I was really excited because I understood what he was going to bring. I understood the downside of him as far as, he has this thing where, he's kind of volatile. But I've seen volatile receivers here, Michael Irvin and Dez Bryant, and we done well with them. In the Michael Irvin era, it was okay to be that way. They allowed him to have a positive effect on his team. Dez Bryant, we were more corporate. They didn't like that so much, so they tried to tame Dez. But the thing I didn't like about Pickens is because he brought negative energy the other night to the game. I thought he brought some lazy routes, some disengagement, and things of that sort. And when CD went out, we really needed him to step up, and I was disappointed in the way that he did not step up. If some not like I think they had the deep pass where Dak threw it and it was kind of off a little bit, but the off part was I don't think that Pickens made a real good effort to try to go to the ball. And just some of the cuts or breaks, and it might have been things that was happening more or while we were winning, but just being sharp on your breaks, on your in routes and stuff like that to try to get separation wasn't there. There's some things I just wasn't really pleased with, and I was like, man, this guy here, man, I really keep him. I got him propped up, man, but God, dog, these are things I didn't like. Ferg, who is, if my son listens to this, a shout out to you because my son does not like Fergs, man. He did. And so I'll tell my wife that it is inexcusable to have fumbles as much as he has. Now, I think that somebody I think I heard on 105.3 said that he's had 4 fumbles this year. Now, not all lost fumbles, but 4. So any fumble is potentially lost. So you should never be fumbling the ball that many times, especially you fumble the ball against Philadelphia. You come back and fumble this time too. That's a no-no, man. But at the end of the day, I'm not gonna like some people wait to and I see these people that just hate Dak for whatever reason. They've been quiet for like 5 weeks. Now they jump out the woodworks. But I don't think any interception was Dak's fault. Totally, to be honest with you. I think it was bad routes, and then with and my guy Flanoy, kind of got the ball ripped out his arms. So these aren't things that Dak could have played better, probably could have, but on the offense, we're going to just look at it from a very macro perspective. Those guys still score 30 points, and you go on the road and score 30 points, you should be in the game, man. But with the defense being as bad as they were, we didn't even have a chance, to be honest with you. Because even when we got close, I felt like we were far. I mean, we got there. We got within 3 points, and the defense just gave up another drive. You know what I'm saying? I was like, we just ain't got it today.
So what I would add, big time, you talked about the jumbo package earlier. That's what Shotty should have did starting this game off when he saw the kind of pressure they were bringing. You should have had Spanford and Schoon, your jumbo package. Just keep everybody in and give Dak some more time. I believe if the defense had played a little better, I think Dak pulls this game out. But Shotty, we saw him at his best with the Eagles and the Kansas City game. I thought this was Shotty's worst game, play calling. He did get away from the run, but the jumbo package would have helped that on our side of the ball, and it would have protected him. I wouldn't say B-Bird, he had the deer in the headlights, Dak.
No, he didn't have
he was just off. There was a play down the left sideline with CD. He's wide open, and Dak threw it out of bounds.
Yeah.
But that being said, if he had been given few more possessions, I think Dak gets everything on track and we're able to win this game. And then I want to say this about Shotty. He had way too much razzle-dazzle on this game. He was running screens. It was one play we got down on like their 30 or 35. He ran a screen play, and Dak ended up throwing the ball backwards, and it cost us like 20 yards. And so Shotty hurt us in this game. He needed to run the ball more big time with his jumbo package. And then the last thing is, I saw a stat before the game that I just couldn't believe. So their corners were like 5'8", 5'9", 5'10". And so again, the game plan should have been your jumbo package, get the ball to CD, get the ball to Pickens, get the ball to Ferg. And I think this game turns out different. But Shotty, especially in that first half, he had way too many plays going east and west on the line of scrimmage, now going downfield. He didn't run it big time. So, and then coming out of the second half, your first play, you run a slant. They're waiting for that. Just run a slant and go. They called it a sluggo. Just run him in and then let him take it out. But yeah, I think this was Shotty's one of his worst games offensively as far as the play calls.
I just think that it was again finesse. We complained about Kellen Moore when he was doing it. No sign of physicality. Just pretty boy football against a bully type team, which is also the main thing that I got. If I was to sum it up, is when we play these type of teams, these bully type teams. People will say the good teams or whatever. We always end up getting bullied. Both sides of the football out physical, not even close. Even though the score was, close, it just didn't have that feel like we were really in the game because we knew the defense weren't going to stop nobody. And so the question was, really, where's the physicality that we've been preached to? Because all I saw was another repeat of Mike McCarthy, Kellen Moore type vibe instead of bully ball. I haven't seen it. And there are certain things you can do that can implement it. Cowboy Joe just said it earlier. Detroit was running a jumbo package. Good God, we could do the same thing. Brevin Spanford coming in, have Ferg there. Look, run on these guys. They had backups in. They had backup guys playing, and we didn't really take it. You tried to take advantage of it. And I guess, some will say, well, the game plan was working because CD was lighting up their backup cornerback. He was, and I'll give you that. But even on that, your plan couldn't have been to have a shootout. Come on now. And once you saw that we couldn't stop nobody, kind of slow the game down, by running the football. We ain't got to score 30 points every game. We need to slow the game down to keep, since you see the defense ain't on it, you got to go in and compliment your defense by slowing the game down, time of possession. We don't need the shotgun game with golf. We couldn't stop nothing. And I blame that on Shotty. So I agree with Joe. I thought that was his worst game. And look, even though they scored 30, even though Dak had, 376 yards passing it, even though CD looked like he was on his way to a 200-yard game, okay, fine. Even though Florida, shout out to Florida, big game for him, huge game. Even though he had a big game, look, I don't care. When your defense is playing like that and they can't stop a nosebleed, you got to do something on offense to slow the game down. Keep their hot offense off the field. It's really just that simple. And he wanted to go shoot out toe-to-toe, and we got beat down, to be honest with you. So I didn't like the finesse style. I didn't see the physicality that need to be, that you have to go against with a bully. You can't finesse a bully team. You got to hit a bully in their mouth. That's something that the Cowboys have not done in the McCarthy era, in the Jason Garrett era, and even now when we go against them, I saw the same finesse approach, and we're not. I hate to say it, but we look soft. Mm-hmm. I hate to use that word, but we look real soft to me and scared. Eberflus was scared of St. Brown and Williams, so he just got off of it. Got off the blitz and just say, hey, I'm going to run to my little world famous zone. I'm scared. And Garrett, I mean, come on, man. No, excuse me. And our head coach Schottenheimer, play calling, had absolutely nothing to do with physicality at all. My linemen are backing up. That's not physical. If you on your heels pass blocking the whole game, where's the physicality at? It just makes no sense to me. That's all I get.
So I'm gonna revert to something, man. I just kind of ran up on something here about our defense versus their defense. We had passes because Joe, you brought this up. We had passes defended. You know how many we had? We had one, the one that Joe talked about. Mm-hmm. We also had 9 pressure. What they had passes defended. You know how many passes defended they had?
I heard
11.
Yeah.
11. They also had 5 sacks. We had 1 sack. They had 20 pressures, and I think I might say we had 9 pressures. And they had 3 turnovers. So if you look at it, that's the difference in the game right there. Their defense just played better against our offense, and our offense played against their defense. They made plays, man. And the 20 pressures was a season high for Detroit Lions. Because if y'all recall, they kept saying and through the watch column that the last 3 or 4 games they hadn't been able to generate pressure. What they did it this time. And so
let me throw something on that, Joe, before you go. Mine real quick.
Hold on.
If you would have told me that Detroit's game plan was, even with back up cornerbacks, was that they was not going to go no zone and they were going to go man to man, which they did. If you would have told me that at the beginning of the game, I know they had safety help for Pickens. I get it. But if you would have told me that Detroit was so bold that even with backup cornerback and you going to go one-on-one with Pickens and CD, I get it. I want to run the ball. But look, somebody should have said, look here, especially Pickens, man, ain't no way in the world I'm going to let this happen. I'm going to destroy anything in sight if I'm going one-on-one. Now, CD had the mindset. And maybe I'm a little bit too hasty because I have not looked at all 22 I don't know if they doubled Pickens the whole game. I don't know that yet.
He kind of intimated that he did.
I know that they went single on CD, and CD was killing them. So that part I don't know. So, but it's just nowhere in the world Detroit's supposed to keep that game playing 1-on-1.
Yeah,
maybe that's the reason why Florida had a big game. Yeah, because they were going single on him. But
well, big time. Let me add one thing. Even starting the game, they started off the game with backup cornerbacks and backup safeties and all that stuff.
They were going 1-on-1,
and they got hurt. So they even went to they were basically on their third string guys, man. Because remember, one of them went out in the first series. Remember with the concussion.
Come on, man.
I was like, boy, this, not wishing for anybody's injury. But I said, this bodes well for us, because they got to bring in a guy that's not even the backup behind. He's the backup behind the backup.
So they couldn't cover our receivers. That's why he should have went jumbo. He should have just tossed out the screens. He kept running screen plays. They couldn't cover Lamb or Pickens. Your game plan, especially after the game started, when you saw what they were doing,
change it.
Put your jumbo package in. You're gonna run the ball some, but get the ball to CD. He had 100 yards in the first half. Get the ball to Pickens. Get the ball to Ferguson, Flournoy. They couldn't cover our receivers, but the problem is he wasn't trying to get the ball to the receivers, guys, in the first half. He was too busy running screen plays. And this bully thing, we want to talk about our culture. We keep hearing culture talk with the Cowboys front office. If I'm Jerry and Steven and Will McClay, at this point, we might need the grandkids to get involved because I don't really know what's happening with the front office. But this bully ball thing, think about this. So we got bullied by the 49ers in 2 playoff games. Remember that, okay? The Green Bay Packers have bullied us in multiple games, and then you trade one of your bullies to the Packers. So we getting bullied by the Packers. So now we got a third team. The Detroit Lions, they on the bully juice. They bullied us in the last couple of games.
Yeah.
So is the front office going to understand you got a bully problem? And one of the ways you're going to fix that is you need a bully defensive coordinator.
Yep.
You need to draft bully players.
That's right.
We need to change our culture to bully ball on both sides of the ball. Yeah. But I just don't think this franchise, they don't do a good job of analyzing what we've done. And I've talked about this a million times on our shows, on your shows too. I could go out to the Star on Monday and just do a presentation. I've been in hundreds and thousands of presentations about performance. I can do a presentation and just show them, here are the things you need to change. This is what you need to do right now to turn this thing around. But this front office, I just don't think they get it. They don't understand. They got a bully problem.
Yeah.
So if we play the Detroit Lions next week, the 49ers, the Packers, we're gonna show up with a finesse game plan. Eberflus is a finesse coach. He's gonna play his finesse zones, and we got 4 games left. The only chance we have to run the table, our offense is gonna have to be pretty much perfect. You're gonna have to put up 35 to 40 points. You will have a chance to win every game because on the defensive side of the ball, you better understand that your defense, they're liable to give up 35 points coming off the bus. That's what we got.
No question. So speaking of that, we'll close with this. I personally believe that the Cowboys, I hate to say it, but I really believe they're going to win every game from the rest of the way. We are totally dependent on Philadelphia melting. I believe the Cowboys gave Philadelphia life by losing Thursday. I believe that heat that they had is still there, but the schedule for Philly, I know they play Washington twice and they play the Giants once, and then of course they have the Chargers in Los Angeles, and I think they play Buffalo. So those 2 games are the big ones that Philly got to get past to really just say, okay, we cool now. If Daniels come back for Washington, you just never know what's going to happen with him. But they're really dependent on watching Philly play. Of course, we got to win every game. I think they can.
Yeah.
I really do think they will actually. But as far as the playoff goes, I'm almost 1 foot in and 1 foot out now. I'm almost ready to start looking at the draft. I'm almost there. I'm gonna take that little 9% we got left and just roll with it. But
9%.
I'm almost there. That was a big loss that we had.
Yeah.
Huge loss. At least for this season. But as I said before, and I say it again, the Cowboys, when they made the trade, is either they're gonna make a run or they're gonna start setting a tremendous foundation for next season. So that's the way that I look at it. I say it's a win-win. Yeah, we'll be mad if we don't make the playoffs this year. I get it. But being that contracts are in place, this team has got a solid foundation for next year. So that's the part that we really gotta, kind of look at. But that's really all I got, guys. Y'all guys can close it out.
So I wanted to ask, and so you're right about the foundation. But what do you do on the foundation? The foundation is only there for you to build. So if they don't build on the foundation, then it doesn't mean anything. So one of the things I want to bring out is this tweet that I tweeted with Cowboy Joe yesterday, and I want to just talk about. And this is not going to get into a different. I just want to make this statement. Looking our secondary, we got Bell, who's an undrafted free agent. We got Bland, who's a 5th-round draft pick. We got Reddy Stewart, who's an undrafted free agent on his 3rd team in 2 years. We have Bridges, who's a 7th-round pick. We got Donovan Wilson, it was a 6th-round pick. And we had Kyra Elam, who was cut from Buffalo after 1 year, 1st-round draft pick and cut. What I'm trying to tell you, man, is this. These are all great stories for themselves individually. They try hard guys. But, man, I am of the belief you get your thoroughbreds from your 1st round, your 2nd rounds, man. Like you can get these guys to fill in the gaps, but they can't be what makes up your whole defensive secondary. We don't have talent in secondary, man, and we have to address that. And as you said, we got the foundation laid. We have contracts in place and all that. But what we can't do big time, when we talk about for the 2026 years, we can't come back saying, man, look, if we just start the year off like this, because Washington is not going to be the same. The Giants won't be the same. Detroit won't be the same. They're all improving also. They won't just stay there and just come back with what they got. So we're going to see if we don't make the playoff and this is our team, we play it out, it's going to be left up to the front office again. If we got a great foundation, we got good parts. Yeah, this team can go win 11 games and go to the playoffs. But have you constructed a roster that can go deep in the playoffs into the Super Bowl? If you're saying no, then you got to go back and say, where are we lacking at? Where are we lacking in defensive back room? Well, we can draft some, but hey, let's go and sign some guys in free agency and spend a little bit of money to get this thing shored up right. And so if we come back with a different secondary, safeties, get that corner solidified, just some other areas that we can do, maybe right tackle, some other areas where we see that we're weak at, and then come back next year and be a better team, not just the same team that's improving, but let's go and put some a rocket pack in their backs and get them some help here, man. So I just think that what this team is going to be in 2026 depends on the front office.
Wow. Joe?
So I'll close with this. I got some hope in him. So yesterday on Brian Broder's show, he was talking about Cleveland. They still may want to look at moving Myles Garrett. So they talked about the Cowboys trading both ones for Myles Garrett. I will be fine with that.
I would too.
So they're going to have over $100 million in salary cap space when the season is over if they want to use it. So, yeah, Donovan Wilson, Hooker, you're going to have to completely redo your safety room. You can't do it all in the draft.
Yeah, safeties are horrible.
Safeties are horrible. You got to redo that room. And then you also need to add a couple of more linebackers. I believe Overshawn, with the right scheme, he can get better. Eberflus is making everybody worse. So we talked about that enough. But yeah, they got to do, when free agency starts, they need to be the first team out there. They got so many players that need to be removed and replaced. And so they got a good foundation, but that free agency is going to be big.
Yeah.
And then with your draft picks, you got to draft bully players. You got to draft dogs. We got a culture problem, guys.
Yes.
So this front office needs to understand we've got a culture problem, and that is we are a finesse team, and they got to do something intentional to change that.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, I told you it's straight cut and no chaser. I told you it's uncut. I told you it's gonna be the truth. We don't pat people on the back. That's not what we do on this show. Y'all want that type of stuff, I can recommend a few of them. Cowboy, no matter what, Cowboy enthusiasts. We just the type. If they play good, we'll say they play good. If they play bad, we'll say they played bad. They played bad. We still Cowboy fans, but they played bad. They did not look good. The old saying is, you take 2 steps forward, you take 3 steps back. I feel like that's what happened. We took 3 steps back, so we back at square one. The defense can't stop nothing. The defense give up 30 plus points. Offense scoring 30, but the defense gives up much more. We back at square one. That's the way I look at it. Of course, they got a chance to get it right against the Chargers. The Vikings. I'm sorry, coming up. So the big game coming up, and we finally got a little couple days off, so they can regroup. And no question, they have to beat the Vikings. We make bad teams look pretty good, decent, whatever. JJ McCarthy ain't done nothing all year, and we don't need to make him a superstar.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just like B Bird said, Detroit has struggled the last 4 weeks. Here come the Cowboys. They just about played the best game. Unbelievable how everybody gets up for us. But we have to match that intensity. How do you match it? Sometimes it's simple as, hey, we're going to hit you in your goddamn mouth.
Yeah.
Physicality. You can't, this is not Madden on PlayStation. Sometimes you got to put your foot in the ground and say, we finna hit, we're going to go right here. Yeah, right there. And we going to tell you we coming right here. Stop us if you can. That's really what it's all about. And until I see that, I think Cowboy Champs put it in the thing. 17 carries, man.
Yeah.
Bully ball means we're going to run the ball, 24, 25 plus times in a game. That's what that means. You got this good offensive line that can run block. Let them do what they do best. It's just that simple. Hopefully they get it together. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys for hanging with us. Hit that like button as you go out. B-Bird, of course. Tell them where you at, B-Bird, and Cal will just follow it up.
Yeah, I'm B-Bird Cowboys on Twitter and on YouTube. So y'all check me out when y'all can. I'm more active on Twitter than I am on YouTube at this time. But y'all check me out. I appreciate y'all stopping in too.
All right, and I'm Cowboy Joe. You can follow me at Cowboy Joe 64 on Twitter. And our channel is called Father and Son, Cowboys and Sports Talk. I do a show with my son. So check us out on YouTube, and appreciate you guys joining us on this Saturday morning.
Appreciate y'all. And of course, this is the Big Time Show, and simple. Just go to that wherever social media platform. Just search out the Big Time Show and look for this face here, and you should be good to go. Turn on those notification buttons for everybody so that you'll know when they come on live. And we'll do it again. Usually our day is on Friday, but we had some things we had to do, and so we came early this morning. But we'll probably be back with you guys next Friday at our usual time, Friday evening or something like that. And until then, ladies and gentlemen, man, I appreciate everybody. Thank you, Miss Hankins. I see you. Thank you for the compliment. I'm quite sure the brothers appreciate that.
Yeah,
thank you guys for hanging with us. We'll see you again next time. This has been the Cowboys OG Podcast with B-Bird Cowboys. And, of course, the one and only Cowboy Joe, my frat, my new brother. So let me throw that in, too. I can't let that go. That's my frat down there, so you know how it go. We'll see you guys next week. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, we'll holler at you. Thank you so much.